Welcome to the Tech Show. I'm Sonia Gavankar, and this week we get to talk to one of the superwomen of gaming, Kate Gorman, CEO of Fort Mason Games. Also, we have a way to smarten up your appliances for less than $20. And yet another gadget tries to take my money. All this and more coming up on the Tech Show. Now it's time for the latest. Recently, leaders from the Communications Workers of America, as well as Progress Ohio and other groups, called on the Public Utilities Commission of Ohio, or PUCO, to reject AT&T's request to drop out of the Lifeline program. AT&T's abandonment of the Lifeline program, which subsidizes vital phone and internet services, would harm over 10,000 of their Ohio customers, including the elderly, veterans, and low-income households. Not only does Lifeline impact seniors and families that receive safety net benefits, it also protects those needing to stay connected for healthcare reasons, said Bianca Edwards, a community organizer with the Ohio Organizing Collaborative. For those who cannot afford phone or internet services, this is the lifeline that keeps them connected not only to their communities and loved ones, but also to safety. AT&T withdrew from the Lifeline low-income discount program in 12 other states in 2017. In Ohio, there are a total of 1,597,000 households that qualify for the program, including 157,000 veterans and 452,000 households with children that are eligible. The company's efforts to withdraw from the program in Ohio coincide with it coming under increased fire for its broken promises on jobs in Ohio and across the Midwest. While arriving in Washington Dulles International Airport after a flight from Sao Paulo, a man presented a genuine French passport as his ID. But the facial recognition system flagged this man's face as not matching the passport photo. Officers then searched his person as he grew visibly nervous and found his real ID card from the Republic of Congo in his shoe. The system had just been installed on Monday, so this was the first instance where it caught a person illegally entering the United States. There are a total of 14 airports using the facial recognition technology to screen out people arriving in the U.S. with false documents. Dulles Airport has been testing facial recognition systems since 2015, while New York's JFK Airport started to test the technology in 2016. Both airports are part of the broader biometric exit pilot that uses facial recognition to identify visa holders as they exit the country. So what do you think about biometrics being used in airports? Potentially faster or potentially flawed?
Some airports are starting to use facial recognition for international travel. Do you think that's a good thing, or is that too much?
I think it depends, like if it slows down lines.
I like it, and I'm doing sort of a similar thing. So I don't know if you're about Clear.
Yeah.
And so Clear, that's basically what it is, biometric. Use your fingerprint or your eyes. It's along the same lines. And more than likely, in this digital age, they have your face somewhere. So you can try to hide it, but they have it somewhere.
If it's used wrong, it can go bad real easy or whatever. But I mean, as long as they use it good, but yeah, that's what I would say.
I think it's great, although I hope the technology can match up Passport Me with Red Eye Overseas with Free Connections Me. Coming up, Home Tech. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Over 70 years of experience in heart and aviation, the members of the Association of Flight Attendants know the realities of the aircraft cabin better than anyone. We don't just serve drinks, we save lives. We don't just negotiate contracts, we move major policy issues like the smoking ban, no knives on planes, clean water, and safe food on board. The air we breathe matters, and we stop the spraying of poisonous pesticides. The Association of Flight Attendants. Stronger together, better together.
If you have money that's been damaged in a fire, in a flood, that's been eaten by insects or animals, we'll evaluate and determine how much is there and reimburse you for it. My name is Eric Walsh. I'm the Assistant Manager of the Mutilated Currency Division. Every year, the Mutilated Currency Division receives about 23,000 cases. People will send money that's been somehow damaged, and we reimburse annually about $40 million. We're pretty low tech here, so the tools of the trade are scissors, knives, scalpels, glue and tape, and maybe a pair of tweezers. The most challenging cases are usually cases that the money has gotten wet and sat for long periods of time, and it will actually petrify and be solid as a brick. A lot of it is the dog ate my money. We get hundreds of those cases a year. A lot of people will hide their money in the oven and forget about it, or they'll get it wet and put it in the microwave, and that will ignite the currency. Our most infamous case took place in the 80s, and what happened was a farmer lost his wallet in a field and discovered that his cow had eaten it. And we always encourage the submitter to send in the package as it is, and the farmer sent in the cow's stomach, which we were able to retrieve the wallet from and reimburse the farmer his currency.
Here at the Tech Show, we love talking about the latest smart gadgets and home systems. Refrigerators that text you when you're out of eggs. Mood lighting if you ever want to have more fun in your bathroom. But if you already have your favorite coffee maker and toaster oven, there's a little miracle from Belkin that can give you connectivity. Phil Nicholson, YouTube's Modern Dad, has more.
So about 200 years ago, we actually had smart connected outlets. This was back in the mid-80s.
Clap on, clap off, clap on, clap off. The clapper.
And that's how it worked. You clap to turn it on. You clap to turn it off. And we thought it was the coolest thing we'd ever seen. So the new Wemo Mini makes things even better by slimming it down. You can now fit 2 on a single outlet instead of just 1 before, because it was so darn big. And here's the gist, as you probably figured it out by now. It's an outlet for your outlet. Yo dog, I heard you want an outlet for your outlet. Yo dog means ask your kid. You plug it into your outlet, it has power, and then it also connects to your Wi-Fi, so now it has smarts. So you can turn it off and on with your phone, or of course, your voice, Amazon Alexa, eventually Google Home. So why a smart outlet? Why not? It's brilliant for those hard to reach places. Love using it during Christmas time. I hate bending over to unplug Christmas trees. And at the end of the night, I could just stumble to bed and say, Alexa, turn off the Christmas tree. All in all though, it's a really flexible product and you can do pretty much whatever you want with it. Don't wait for me to tell you. Just think about how many different times you've wanted to plug something in, but not actually have to touch it with your hands to control it.
We've got to take a break, but coming up, Nikki Noya from the Jet Set will tell us what we need to download for our next trip. We'll be right back with more of the Tech Show.
It's time for this month's in-flight entertainment update where we talk about what to download for your next flight. Read this: in a sunburned country, Bill Bryson takes you along his journey through Australia, the country that doubles as a continent and a place with the friendliest inhabitants, the hottest, driest weather, and the most peculiar and lethal wildlife to be found on the planet. The result is a deliciously funny, fact-filled, and adventurous performance by a writer who combines humor, wonder, and unflagging curiosity. Okay, listen to this, Hysteria. This podcast, hosted by Aaron Ryan, features an all-female cast and deals smartly with issues from the serious to the absurd. Hilarious and informative, this is a must-listen for both men and women and is available on all of your favorite podcast providers, including Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, and more. Watch this, Adrift. Adrift is based on the inspiring true story of two free spirits whose chance encounter leads them first to love and then to the adventure of a lifetime. As the two sailors set out on a journey across the ocean, Tammy Oldham and Richard Sharp couldn't anticipate that they would be sailing directly into the most catastrophic hurricanes in recorded history. In the aftermath of the storm, Tammy awakens to find Richard badly injured and their boat in ruins. With no hope for rescue, Tammy must find the strength and determination to save herself and the only man she has ever loved.
You've been to so many places. What's it like sailing out there all alone?
Miserable. You're either sunburnt, sleep deprived, or seasick. And after a few days, there's hallucinations.
Why do you do it?
It's a feeling. It's intense. It's just you and the infinite horizon. You must be a sailor too, I take it.
I don't know that I would consider myself a sailor.
Oh, come on.
Not like you.
You are. Do you want to take her out?
Right now?
Anytime. You think you might want to go sailing with me?
How would you like to sail the Hosanna to California for us?
4,000 miles is insane.
Come sail with me.
Hurricane Raymond has been upgraded to a Category 5.
Should we be worried?
Mayday! This is the sailing of Hosanna, do you copy?
I love you.
Get balloon! I'm not leaving you! Get balloon now! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Go! Welcome back to the Tech Show. The news is full of stories about robots taking our jobs, especially when it comes to service and fast food. But there's a robot in San Francisco that serves delicious burgers while its human coworkers deliver, well, the human element. Check it out.
If I walk just a few blocks from this office, I can find a robot that will make me a latte, serve me a quinoa bowl, and now there's one that will make me a custom made-to-order hamburger. And it kind of makes sense when you think about it. San Francisco is a hub of food and of technology, so having new businesses that want to techify their restaurant concept makes a lot of sense. But when I talked to my coworkers about it, they had two distinct opinions about robots making their food. One,
I think it sounds cool. I would definitely go.
And the other.
So how does that affect people working in the city?
Both of these opinions are completely justified, but that jobs one is where things get complicated. Typically, robotic restaurants employ plenty of people. They're just doing different jobs than before. So instead of flipping burgers or making pizzas, they're stocking the machine, greeting customers, and just keeping everything in working order. But I wanted to see this for myself. So we are gonna head over to Creator, that robotic burger place that I was telling you about, and I am going to see how robots might impact the future of how we order food.
So Creator's a new type of restaurant, one that has one of the most advanced culinary instruments. So this baby back there, it makes literally the freshest burger ever. We slice tomatoes, pickles, onions, the bun to order, but my favorite part actually grinds the meat to order, which means we make an amazing burger and it's $6.
This robot isn't what I had imagined. Instead of a mechanical arm flipping burgers as we've seen in the past, Creator has built a 14-foot all-in-one burger machine that uses 350 sensors and 20 computers. It takes 5 minutes to make a burger start to finish. And with 2 machines, the Creator team can make 130 burgers per hour here at their first location.
We wanted to design a device that would meet nature where it is and not kind of make food conform to a robot. But that caused all kinds of engineering challenges because food is so different. So for instance, with the hamburger buns, each one is slightly different sized. And so on the bun system alone, there's 7 different laser distance sensors that are watching every little aspect of it, seeing where the buns are and how they're moving and so forth. A burger is a composed dish, which means you need to be able to accurately control where everything is and where it's going and how it kind of comes together. And for that, we had to build a device with a pretty impressive amount of dexterity. So we didn't want something that would make just one kind of burger. We look at this sort of like a platform for different recipes, and we wanted as much culinary creativity as possible.
There is also a proper kitchen where employees prep burgers and make sauces and sides, but since the robots cook and assemble the burgers, Creator needed less space, meaning less rent, which leaves more room to invest in their ingredients.
So one of the great things about our operation is because it's so efficient, we spend so much more on the cost of ingredients, which definitely comes through in the flavor. So as an example, the beef is whole chunks of chuck and brisket. It's steak, it's pasture-raised, there's no antibiotics, no hormones.
So how did it taste? Well, I can confidently say that it was the best $6 burger that I've ever had, but I am not a food expert, so I asked Ellen from Eater, who's one of my coworkers, what she thought about the burger.
I think it's a good burger. It's meaty, it has fresh toppings, the bun is nice. It's the freshest possible burger, and there's way fewer times that people are touching your burger.
As it stands today, there are very few restaurants testing this technology, so there's little threat of robots taking over anytime soon. But I can see a world where robotic restaurants becomes a thing. With robots on the line, owners can afford to pay their staff and make ends meet, and the math just might make more sense.
Even if you can find staff, we've got like very expensive permitting processes that go on forever, hugely expensive rents, which are not going down anytime soon. And then minimum wage is also rising. So people who are operating restaurants have to pay their staff more. They have a whole lot more overhead, and that's really reflected in the menu prices, which is part of the reason people are finding it so expensive to dine out in San Francisco.
And to date, the robot restaurants we've looked at here in San Francisco are charging around 20% less than their human-powered competition.
When we come back, we'll chat with CEO of Fort Mason Games, Kate Gorman. More of the Tech Show's coming right up.
So you've decided to go to college. That's cool. So pop quiz. Which is a better way to earn your degree? Commute to college and fill your gas tank, get stuck in traffic, drive in bad weather, try to find a parking space, walk a half mile to class, or learn online at Independence University. You don't go to college. College goes to you. That's independence. That's Independence University. And all your supplies, including a brand new laptop and tablet, are included with tuition. Independence U, for an independent you.
1-800-396-2076.
When I say Italy, what comes to mind?
Venice. Capri. Oh my gosh, Capri was marvelous.
The views, the cliffside views, or traveling to Sorrento. Pirello tours.
Oh, Pirello tours, for sure.
Pirello.
Hi, I'm Steve Perillo of Perillo Tours. With over 70 years of tour experience to Italy, it's no wonder Perillo Tours is synonymous with travel to Italy.
I think of the culture. I think of Perillo Tours taking me to all of the areas that were important to me.
The history, and to walk up to certain areas and touch a wall and think, well, this wall's like 3,000 years old.
Being on a Perillo tour on our anniversary was better than anything I can remember ever on an anniversary.
I personally approve every itinerary to ensure a stress-free, once-in-a-lifetime vacation.
Salute! Call now for your free brochure and insider's guide. Call in the next 30 minutes and get this free $100 gift card. Call 800-219-0930, 800-219-0930.
Feeling off track? Get back in the race with Formula R3. Rise, rock, and restore your youth. 52% of men suffer from ED, poor circulation, low energy, low confidence, low libido. Taking R3 daily can boost free testosterone, energy, vitality, libido, while supporting the prostate, heart, liver, and kidneys. All natural ingredients: ginseng, saw palmetto berries, hawthorn berries, black maca root. Formula R3, nature's gift to men's health, remains.
Welcome back. So we talk gaming a lot on the Tech Show, and I love that women are making a much bigger footprint in the gamer community. So I'm excited to have CEO of Fort Mason Games, Kate Gorman, joining us from San Francisco today. Hello, Kate. Tell me about your journey and why you started Fort Mason Games.
My journey with Fort Mason Games begins at a young age. I've always loved games, and that led me to find computer science. I then majored in computer science at Berkeley, and before even graduating from college, I was hired as the youngest product manager at Zynga, which is a leading mobile social gaming company in San Francisco. All the while, though, I knew that I wanted to disrupt this stagnant market and rethink how games are made for women. So at age 26, I founded Fort Mason Games with the vision of creating personalized mobile experiences for everyone, but particularly for women.
What's the landscape like now for women and girls who want to get into game design?
Women have more momentum than ever, and for women that want to get into game design in particular, I think the key is to really focus on your consumer, embody who they are and what they would want to play, and put that first and foremost, and with that you can create amazing games, particularly for women.
Until recently, the industry largely ignored marketing to girl gamers. Why is that, and why is it changing now?
The industry has ignored women in mobile gaming and gaming in general because when people think about gaming, they think about these violent experiences and shooter games. But as mobile devices are becoming more powerful and more prevalent than ever, women are gaming in unprecedented numbers. In fact, 65% of women in the US are playing mobile games, according to Google. So with that comes a whole new spectrum of games and rethinking what is a game and how do we play and how do they incorporate those moments of joy and happiness into their lives every day.
Your company wants to create games with women in mind. What does that mean to you, and how are women gamers any different?
So women make up a majority of mobile game players, and they play primarily to relax and de-stress. So at Fort Mason Games, we've really thought about how to create these moments of joy and happiness and bring them into people's lives multiple times a day. And so it really becomes more than a game. It's really part of your daily activity and routine and the ability to escape and de-stress at any point in the day.
What's your advice for young people who want to get into the industry?
My advice for anybody who wants to get into industry is threefold. First of all, follow your passion and do what you love. Second of all, you need to have this deep customer empathy to understand what your customers want to play and how that fits into their lives. And third, find a team that shares your vision for this and helps you create what you ultimately want to play yourself.
What are the projects that you have coming up that you're most excited about?
So Fort Mason Games, we just launched our first game. It's called Confetti Casino, and it's a really fun, free-to-play slots game. You can download it on Apple, Google, and Amazon Play stores. And it's a really fun, whimsical game that lets you escape for a few minutes a day.
Where can people find out more about the releases from Fort Mason Games?
Fort Mason Games has a lot of interesting things coming up, so stay tuned. You can check us out on our website at fortmasongames.com or follow us on Facebook at Confetti Slots.
Thanks, Kate. We're going to sneak in one last break, and we'll be back with Take My Money right here on The Tech Show. Don't go anywhere.
It's time for This Week in Games, where we see what's coming to your mobile, console, or PC. Leaping from the pages of the Arabian Nights, adventure awaits in the accused city of Brass, a place of legend filled with danger and reward. Infested with mischievous spirits and deadly traps, its shifting streets are brimming with the wealth of a nation. Assume the role of a cunning thief, battling to reach a fabled treasure at the city's heart, wielding a blade and whip that can be used to disarm, trip, or stun enemies, to swing to safety, grab inaccessible objects, or even break through flimsy barricades. Leap across pits, slide under blades, dodge spears, and sidestep poison gas traps, all the while manipulating hazards to your advantage against diverse spirit foes. City of Brass is available now for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Winner of more than a dozen indie gaming awards, Tiny Bubbles will make you rethink everything you knew about mobile puzzles. It plays a bit like a grade school science experiment with tiny soap bubbles magnified on a petri dish. You'll match and create colors in your soapy solution to free friendly sea creatures. Play with squishy clusters of soap bubbles in this mesmerizing new puzzle game. Inflate, mix, match, pop, and win with hundreds of super fun goals to complete. Using a proprietary molecular dynamics engine, the game's physics plays like no other game. There's even a colorblind option available. Adaptive ambient music gracefully integrates with the satisfying sounds of popping. Put on a pair of headphones and get your brain in the Zen Zone. Tiny Bubbles is available for all iOS and Android devices. That's it for This Week in Games. The Tech Show will be right back.
So you've decided to go to college. That's cool. So pop quiz. Which is a better way to earn your degree? Commute to college and fill your gas tank, get stuck in traffic, drive in bad weather, try to find a parking space, walk a half mile to class, or learn online at Independence University. You don't go to college. College goes to you. That's independence. That's Independence University. And all your supplies, including a brand new laptop and tablet, are included with tuition. Independence U for an independent you.
1-800-971-6972.
Now it's time for Take My Money, where this week we have a gift for that person who practically spends the day in their car. Now this tray doesn't let you drive, so you don't have to worry about more distracted drivers on the road. Also, you can give yourself a break from coworker gossip and have a lunch date with your podcasts in your car. Okay, car tray, go ahead and take my money. Thank you for joining us this week. Follow us at The Tech Show TV and join the conversation. Check you later.